So it looks here like it started 1 month ago.
Shiniki, a new initiative proposed by an island country in the Far East. The news of it was broadcast around the world.
But according to 3 cities, they're already allowing suicide to become legal. Isn't committing suicide something bad?
This is an indiscriminate attack by an ideology. It's terrorism.
The 4th city, huh?
I can't believe that it's happening right in Hartford.
But like all things, I still believe that most problems in life can be solved if you keep thinking about them. But there always seems to be a time limit in the real world. I guess you could say that's my biggest problem.
The population of Hartford is 125,000. This figure only includes the residents. The number of people active in the city is 1.2 million. The city was once regarded as a trading hub, and many insurance companies are still located there today because of it. The current mayor, Benicio Flores, is from Puerto Rico. He went to the University of Hartford and University of Connecticut. This is his 2nd term.
He's a Republican, huh? Can you tell me what he's like?
He's mild-mannered, he's a moderate, he's a politician with a clean image.
Clean enough to make the residents follow the law?
Well, I'm not really sure.
Did you contact him?
Yes. Apparently, he hasn't refused to talk to the government yet.
Then,
We'll talk to him in 1 hour.
yeah, thank you. And contact the CIA and the FBI also. And, just take care of this as fast as you can, please.
We have a meeting with France coming up soon, and now we have this on our back?
Well, domestic affairs first.
Mr. President, have you come to a conclusion yet, sir?
Well, I'm still missing a lot of pieces.
Mr. President, if I may just point out, sir, I'm just carrying out my normal duties as the city's mayor.
Huh? And what are those?
To me, I believe a mayor's duty is to provide his constituents with a safe, healthy, and prosperous lifestyle. With keeping those in mind,
I heard about a law that embodies a new initiative known as the suicide law. Once I knew more of it, I decided that adopting this new law would improve the lives of residents of Hartford, giving them much freedom.
I see then. But I still feel perhaps
that you're rushing the matter a bit too much. Could you, tell me, why did you skip all of the necessary processes so as to hurry to adopt the suicide law so quickly?
well, excuse me, you're right. Mr. President, to be honest, the reason is a little abstract and not altogether a very logical explanation, but...
I don't mind knowing. Continue on.
Yes. For example, sir, if you trace the roots of our country, the United States, you'll find that it starts with Columbus's discovery of the new continent. The passion felt by the people in search of the new continent was what paved the way to this new and wonderful land. And in the 19th century, our country experienced the gold rush. People tamed the wild lands in the West in search of gold. They had the will, the dynamism, and the courage to set foot into untrodden territory. I believe we still possess that spirit.
The frontier spirit.
That's right. I saw the frontier of mankind with the suicide law.
It's just as you said, Mr. President. I could have spent more time investigating it thoroughly.
But I couldn't stop myself from moving forward. I know I might be overstepping here, but in my opinion, this is what it means to have courage.
Powers not delegated by the Constitution of the United States belong to the state and the people. In principle, that means we don't have the power to object to Hartford's adoption of the suicide law. I just wanted to tell you that we have no intention of fighting against your state on this.
Well, Mr. President.
But it's not that I completely approve either. I'm just putting this on hold. The government and I both have our own powers, of course. If it comes to it,
I can sign an executive order to deploy troops to Connecticut and put a stop to it all.
What?
Well, let's stay in close contact while all of this is playing out.
I think that was more than enough.
I wonder how many more cities are going to adopt the new suicide law.
The think tanks are analyzing it right now. First, we need to determine whether it was natural, whether the suicide law in those 3 cities really came about out of their own free will.
You mean a conspiracy?
Each city came to the decision quickly. Rather than all of them being influenced by one another, I think it's likely the cities were in contact behind the scenes and coordinated the timing of their announcements.
Do you have any evidence?
The investigations are ongoing, but it's still just a guess at this point.
I feel the same way, Mr. President. To be honest, sir, it seems likely that there are people orchestrating this in secret.
Please, continue with the investigation.
Dead slow ahead. As usual, huh?
He's always like this. His nickname, The Thinker, fits him perfectly.
I have another nickname that I've heard him being called, the Honest Man.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? He was able to make Flores stop just by hinting that he'd send the army to Connecticut. Honesty can turn out to be a tough weapon when used in the right hands.
Well, just between you and I, we often get hurt because of that double-edged sword he's known to wield.
Let me tell you something. I don't have the time to start a serious discussion here. Not about some stupid childish house rule cooked up by the mayor of a small town in Asia that no one has ever heard of before now.
That's just what I wanted to talk about.
Aren't you going to see the mayor of Grenoble?
Why would I? I don't even remember his name. He's just an average guy whose only talent is raising money. I bet he just went along with the suicide law because he thought it would bring in good business.
Don't you think you're being pretty careless?
I think this is a huge social problem for our joint societies as a whole. And by the way you're speaking, I can't discern. Are you making light of him, or are you making light of the problem itself?
If you must know my thoughts, Alex, I will tell you what I'm doing. I'm not making light of the problem if that's what you think. What I'm doing is actually making it less of a problem.
Huh?
Politics is equivalent to controlling the sentiment of the people. For stupid initiatives like this dumb suicide law, all you have to do is treat them like low-quality fads and stamp them out. You don't have to keep up the charade that those crazy youngsters started.
Are you talking about Itsuki? Agreed. I think he's the important one we need to focus on. I think perhaps he still has something else up his sleeve. Some cards he hasn't laid out on the table. It's just a gut feeling, though.
Don't know, but I'm not interested.
I'm a little interested in it, though.
I told you, I don't know and don't want to know. Why don't you ask him directly? Don't you?
Ah. Do we have the option of meeting Itsuki?
We don't.
But
I said we don't. Politics is equivalent to controlling the sentiment of the people. Luca has a point. During the televised debate, Itsuki appealed to the people's emotions. He's still popular now. If you make an appearance, Itsuki would make a great performance out of it.
okay, let's forget about it then. Apocalypticism. Is he planning to resurrect the devil all over again? An evil person. Someone who's going to destroy the world.
Do you have conclusive evidence to support this? I see. Very well. We'll notify the president tomorrow.
What's this?
It's some new information about the existence of a particular person.
And this person, they have something to do with the problems going on with the suicide law?
That's what we think, and might be involved in the adoption by the other countries.
You're right. If that report really is true, then it's a real possibility she had a hand in it. By the way, Director, which person?
They're all the same person.
Please then explain more, Director.
Mr. President, do you mind if I bring an investigator here for a moment?
Sure, go right ahead. Pleased to meet you. Welcome to the White House. Let's get right down to business. Can you tell me what you know about the woman Ai Magase?
Yes, sir.
In other words, it kind of sounds like a form of hypnotism. Is that what you would classify it as?
That's the idea, more or less. However, it's more effective by sheer magnitude.
And with just one word, it's over for you?
Yes. She doesn't need a lot of time. She can make people end up like that just by whispering in their ear.
Do you mean they choose suicide?
They give in to the temptation. Magase can lead people astray without laying a single finger on them. She can make them cross the line. And once they've crossed it, they end up wanting to die as quickly as possible.
Do you think this woman is involved in the increase in the number of cities allowing the suicide law?
Most likely. I believe Itsuki and Magase are up to something on a global scale. If I were to make a guess, they'll try to bring about something horrible once the law is in effect. That's what I think, at least. And in order to stop that from happening, I came here to the United States.
I have to say, though, he seems like he's a little tormented.
I think we should check whether his information is credible or not.
What a mess. How are we ever supposed to catch a woman who could be traveling around the world when we don't even know what she looks like from a day-to-day basis?
We can't track through passenger manifests, and we won't find her in camera footage.
What do you suggest we do?
As of now, I'm going to send him to Hartford with one of my men.
That sounds like a good enough plan. Maybe they left behind a few traces.
By the way, Mr. President, that man, he would like to become an official investigator for the FBI.
Become official?
Yes. He's still special appointment and doesn't have the authority granted to normal investigators yet.
I looked through the documents. He's not a U.S. citizen, is that correct? Granting him the status of an official FBI investigator would be quite difficult to make happen.
You could grant it to him if you use your executive privilege. To hire him through the normal route, he would need to serve a certain number of hours. But if you ordered it, he wouldn't need to go through the process. And I recommend him too. Can you appoint him?
You too? Why are you so adamant?
I can give you 3 reasons for it. The first, he used to be in special investigations in the public prosecutor's office in Japan. He is highly capable. The second is that he's an important witness in the case we're investigating. He's the person who's come the closest to the criminal. And the third is that man is dangerous. I could tell the moment that I first met him that something wasn't quite normal. During my time as an investigator, I've seen a lot of men with eyes like his. I sense insanity in his obsession with chasing down Magase. And I think he may be hiding something as well.
Huh. I see then. I'll leave the investigation up to you. But please, give me some time to think about the appointment. Villain.
I don't recognize either one of them. I've never met these women, nor have I ever spoken to them.
I see then.
Mayor, you mind if I ask you a question on something?
Sure.
What was it that made you want to adopt the suicide law?
You mean the reason?
That's what I'm asking. When was the moment that you decided you were going to adopt it?
Well, when was the moment? Before I even realized, I had already felt deeply moved by the idea behind the law.
One more question. Did it not turn into the basis upon which you judge good and evil?
Hey.
Please answer.
So good and evil. The great prolific American writer Mark Twain, who was also from Hartford, by the way, said this in The Mysterious Stranger. Of all the animals, man is the only one that is cruel. He is the only one that inflicts pain for the pleasure of doing it. And the goodness of people's hearts is born out of that. Evil exists because of good. Do you understand that? Good and evil aren't significant enough or different enough to form a basis for judgment.
Hey, Zen. Why did you ask the mayor that?
I was looking for some clues. It didn't seem like he was lying, though.
I see. That's a record of the visitors who came to see Flores this past month. There's also a list of his public and private calls. The FBI looked it up for me.
Thanks for this. I don't see any suspicious calls here.
Well then, maybe they talked to him earlier.
I don't think so.
Why?
Hartford is known as the insurance capital of the world. The economy depends on the insurance industry, and there's a fat pipeline connecting Mayor Flores and the insurance companies. But then take a look at this.
If some time had passed after the decision to adopt the suicide law, then they would have already finished coordinating something, right?
So if Magase did make contact with Flores, it'd be recent. I would say it would need to be within the last week or so.
Well then, how's this? 2 days before the announcement of the suicide law, he visited an end-of-life care facility.
Mayor Flores saw 3 patients while he was visiting here the other week. The mayor greeted them with nothing but kindness and gentle appreciation.
Was one of them a woman by chance?
Yes, there was.
I'd like to see her if you don't mind.
Yes. It's just that she's... It'll be okay, Mom.
What a brave child. She's not crying over the death of her mother.
Look at this.
What's wrong?
It's the schedule for the time between Flores visiting the patients and the time he actually left. It's off by a full 10 minutes.
We received a phone call. It was a family member of someone who passed away while here. They really wanted to talk to the mayor.
Tell me all the details.
Did you hear that person's voice?
No. I have a recording, though. As a policy of our facility, we record all phone calls.
This is Flores.
Mayor? I was there. With my grandmother in her final moments. At the facility you're visiting now. Thank you for all of your support. It means a lot to me.
I'm glad we could help.
Thanks to you. My grandmother departed. This world in relative peace.
I will continue to strive to improve the state of end-of-life care in Hartford. Now that your grandmother has been called to God's side, may she rest in peace. Is something wrong?
Mayor?
Yes?
Mayor?
What is it?
Mr. Suzuki?
Zen?
Are you listening?
I'm listening.
You know, we don't get called to God's side.
What did you say?
God doesn't exist. He's made up.
What in the world?
I have something to tell you. You know, Mr. Suzuki, when you die, it's over.